Hi everyone, and welcome back to Fully Playable Games. So on today's video we are going to be essentially rebuilding the games room. So following on from I think it's Tuesday's video, I obviously showed you about the enormous disaster that I found with mould in the corner of the room. And before I get into the video, I do want to say a massive thank you to everyone for the comments on that video. Yeah, it was I wasn't in the best place with regards to actually finding it, and yeah, it was all a bit of a rush, but I have spent a couple of days actually putting a plan together and working out. So originally what I was going to do was, after we'd done the games room tour, we were going to do a massive expansion, and we're actually going to be taking all of the shelving out just behind me here and replacing it with 2 new bookcases. And that's partly going to be the plan. So what we're going to do is we are going to still take this out, but instead of putting in 2 new bookcases, I'm only going to put 1 in, and the area of the room where the bookcase and the mould is, I'm actually going to leave empty for now. And yeah, I have got the bookcase in hand. It's a bookcase, we've actually had it in the house for ages now. It's still brand new in the box, and it was originally bought for the little one to put their Lego models on, and they just haven't managed to clear the bedroom enough for us to actually build it and get it put up. So I have commandeered it for now, and then within the next few weeks I'll head over to IKEA and pick them up another one. But what we're going to do is, in today's video, we are going to first off get everything cleared out of the room. So over the couple of days that from when I first filmed the video to when I filmed the outro for Tuesday's video, I actually got all of the games put into sort of bags for life. So they're literally all piled up in the room at the moment. And what we'll do is we'll get them moved out. I'm just going to put them out into the bedroom for now. So the room's completely clear. We're going to move the 2 bookcases out. And first off, we're going to start by getting the mould treated. I will say one of the comments on Tuesday's video was about getting some moisture traps and things like that. Well, I had already got some. So just as soon as we discovered the mould, I think the wife actually went and picked me up. I've got 4 of these. And yeah, she picked them up that night. So I have had them sort of sitting on the Xbox shelf for a couple of days now. So yeah, once we've got the mould treated, I am going to be putting these in periodic places around the room. But yeah, so what I have done is I have actually put together a bit of a plan of attack with this. So let me switch over to the other screen and you can see what I'm planning. So we're starting with the bookcase just here, which is the Xbox bookcase. And the only real change that we're going to be doing here is we're going to actually be removing one of the Xbox 360 shelves, which, yeah, I am proper gutted about, because for one, I spent about an hour the other day sorting out the bookcase and making sure that all of our best games were in the shelves. So now I'm going to have to go through again and actually remove basically a shelf's worth of games. Because what you'll see is up the top here on all the bookcases, we've got a spare shelf, and there is a reason for that, and we'll get to that in a little while. And then what we're going to do is the first bookcase behind me, which will be just here, will be 4 shelves of PS1, 3 shelves of PS2, and then the bookcase next to that will be PS2, PS3, and PSP and Vita down the bottom. The PS4 and PS5 shelves are going to stay as they are. The only thing we're going to do is the bottom 2 shelves are going to be taken out. So at the moment, the shelf at the bottom has got all of my Xbox 360 variants. I'm going to take those out for now and put them into storage. It's also got the Vita games and some of my other PlayStation consoles. So they're going to be taken out. The bottom shelf's going to be assigned to PS5, and then the rest of the bookcase is going to go to PS4. Then the first bookcase on the main wall behind where I normally film is going to be 3 shelves of Mega Drive. So basically we're going to have a bookcase of Sega and a bookcase of Nintendo. And yeah, obviously all of my SNES, NES are all going to get moved into there. We're actually going to have 2 shelves for N64 as well, because I've got all of the boxed Japanese N64 games that haven't actually gone into the games room yet because I've just not had the space. And yeah, unfortunately for now, I'm going to have to downsize the GameCube. I think what I might do with the GameCube, because I don't want to take them out of the games room, I might just double them up for now. I think that's going to be the only shelf that I'm going to double up, will be the GameCube. So yeah, as I say, I have got a plan. Obviously, we have got sort of preventative measures sort of going forward as well. The work on the actual house itself hasn't been carried out yet, but because we're not putting a bookcase back in that corner at the moment, I'm hoping to be able to do it later on, but obviously that will be once all of the work's been carried out. So obviously with that part of the room being sort of clear, I'm going to be able to keep a closer eye on any of the mould that's coming in. So what we're going to do is, as I say, we're going to get the room clear, get the bookcases out, and then we're going to treat that mould. And then what we'll do is we'll start getting everything shuffled about, and yeah, we'll see how we get on. Okay, so while nowhere near perfect, the wall definitely needs to be repainted because the mould has actually stained the wall. So we've got all of the mould off, which is good. But yeah, it is, as I say, the wall's going to need painting, which is something I'm not worrying about now. I will speak to the landlord and then we'll deal with that later on. I'm not worried. So next up, I am going to move the bookcase that was in this corner just over to the other side of the room for now, and then move the bookcase that was here back on and screw that back onto the wall. And then what we're going to start doing is transferring some of the games from the shelf just behind the desk, and yeah, hopefully we can start sort of getting it put in. But what I am also going to do as well is, obviously I've got to get these console boxes down from up here, because obviously they will move over, and what the plan is to put the correct console boxes above the corresponding game shelves, if that makes sense. So like with this bookcase, because it's going to be all Nintendo, so all the Nintendo consoles will sit up here. Potentially I'm going to evaluate that one just because I'm still not 100%. As you can see, there is sort of, and if you feel it actually, there's still moisture on the wall. Yeah, it is a bit of a nightmare, but obviously I need to try and get the room back into sort of some sort of usable condition. So yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on everything. Obviously I will be putting some of the moisture traps up here as well. And yeah, so let's get everything shuffled around, get the bookcase back in, and yeah, start getting some of the games moved. Okay, so we've got the first bookcase done. The only thing I've got left to put in is the Japanese N64 games, which I'll do that at the end. But you're probably still asking, why have I left the shelf spare? Surely I need all the shelf space that I can get. And yes, we do need all the shelf space that we can get, but there is a particular reason why I'm leaving the top row of shelves empty. And some of you have probably guessed already, but we are going to be putting the consoles up here. So in this shelf, obviously, we've got NES, SNES, N64, Switch, and GameCube. So I want to try and get all 5 consoles up here. So first ones are them. Then we'll put the Switch at the back of the shelf, with the N64 at the front and the GameCube just there. So that is the plan, is to basically have each shelving unit games, the consoles corresponding to the games, on the top shelf. So in this next one, which I think is where I'm going to come a cropper, because we are going to have the Mega Drive, the Saturn, Mega CD, Dreamcast, Master System, and Wii U. So yeah, that one might not work out as I've planned, but obviously we've got the PS4 and a PS5 shelf, which we've got a couple of PS4s and PS5, so there might be a bit of room to play with there. Not too sure. But for me, the main ambition is to get like the Mega Drive, Mega CD, the Master System in here, and yeah, I'll sort of just play it by ear. That at the moment, that is how I'm winging some of this. So let's crack on, and then we'll get the Sega bookcase done now, and then yeah, we'll start looking at actually sort of dismantling the shelves just over here, because I think what my plan is today is to get these 2 bookcases done, and if we can get the PlayStation or the PS4 and the PS5 shelf moved into its new location, because at the moment we've got the set of drawers and sort of a load of other stuff in the corner of the room between the bookcases. All of that's going to be coming out because the PS5 bookcase is going to get shunted right up to the edge of this bookcase. And yeah, obviously we will lose the space in the corner, but yeah, it will allow us to get the other 2 bookcases in. I think the only other thing that I've got to deal with is the centre bookcase. So this will be the PS2 and the PS3 shelves. I am going to have to cut out the back of one of the bookcases because we've got a plug down there that I use for when I'm normally powering my lights and my photography table. So yeah, that's going to be a bit of a pain. Didn't really want to be cut. I don't know actually, I might actually remove the back instead of cutting it off, because you can't actually get a replacement back. Actually, that might work, because if we take the bookcase that was here and put that there, then we can take the sort of mouldy back off. And I think that will work. Probably will do that actually. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to get the camera repositioned again, and then what we'll do is we'll get cracking on this shelf. Okay, so now that the Sega Shelf's in, the next bit that we've got to do is probably the bit that I'm least looking forward to do. And that is going to basically be to clear out this corner. Now what I'm going to do is the set of drawers that we've got here, I'm actually going to move over to this side and sit them just in the gap here. So they're not up against the wall, but I can still sort of keep them in the room for now. I think eventually what I'll end up doing is if we do end up getting a bookcase to go into that corner again, I will put this set of drawers in the bedroom. But I think for now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick them there, and then it's going to be a case of looking at what's actually in the corner, because there's a whole load of stuff down in this corner. And yeah, we'll sort through it, and then the next stage will be to actually take the PS4 and PS5 shelf and shift it along so that it's sort of up against this shelf. Yeah, so yeah, up until this point, so we've been at it about 5 hours at this point. It's probably going to be nowhere near that for you. It's probably only about 5 or 10 minutes. But yeah, so there's been a lot of changes already. I don't know if I like it or not. I will admit, looking at the Super Nintendo shelf, it just feels like it's just gone back to the way it was. So I think at one point this is where the Super Nintendo was. Bit disappointed that we couldn't get the Master System up the top here. So at the moment I've put that down on the Master System shelf with the 32X. But yeah, I'm getting a bit concerned with regards to the consoles. So obviously, as well, at the moment there isn't actually a plan in place for any of my Japanese consoles. So yeah, all my Vectrex, I don't know what I'm going to do with that either. So yeah, there's a lot of bits that I haven't sort of factored in yet, and yeah, they're just going to have to be worked out as we work through. But yeah, so what I'm going to do is with this, and basically remove all the drawers so it's a lot easier just to sort of lift and shift the set of drawers. And yeah, also a bit gutted as well, so we've got probably a bag for life worth of Mega Drive games that we couldn't get on the shelf. So yeah, I think long term I'm definitely going to have to look into sort of trying to get that bookcase back in that space, because yeah, the original plan that I put out had sort of so much expansion in the room that it would have seen us through for a little while longer. But yeah, it's until the repair work is done and we know that everything's going to be okay in that corner, I'm just not even contemplating putting a bookcase back in there for now. But yes, right, so moving on, what we're going to do is going to get this done, and yeah, I'm going to see how long this takes to do, because as I say, it is starting to get on in the day. So depending on how long it takes me to get this corner clear, as to sort of whether we shift the PS4 shelf or we leave that to next time. I think actually no, I think what we're going to do is I'm going to get this clear, then we'll get the Xbox bookcase sorted, and then basically what will become the PlayStation wall, we'll leave that until the next video, because yeah, I think emptying this out, moving it across and everything else that needs to be done, I've got to dismantle all the shelves and take them all off before I can move this bookcase. I think there's just going to be too much to do. So yeah, what we'll do is we'll do that, we'll get this corner clear, then we'll get the Xbox shelves done, get the Xbox consoles moved into the shelf, and then yeah, we'll probably call it a day there. So yeah, I will catch up with you in a minute. Okay, so the final thing that we've got to do today is to get the Xbox shelf updated. And yeah, for that, basically all I've got to do is go through the Xbox 360 games and essentially take out a shelf's worth of games, which here I'm going to struggle with. So yeah, what I'll do is I will switch over to, I'll hold the camera as we're going through, so you can see what ones I'm actually pulling out. And yeah, let me know in the comments down below. Do you agree? Is there any that I should have left in or should have taken out? Let me know. So yeah, let's switch over and get started on the Xbox 360 games. Okay, so that is the Xbox shelf all scaled down as well. We've got the Xboxes up the top. Once again, I don't think it looks great, but we are not going to have the space to have them there. Yeah, I think the more and more I look at it, I'm not happy, not massively happy, should I say, with the way that the consoles are looking. But at the moment it is a means to an end. So yeah, with that said, that is going to be all we're going to go through in today's video. But what we'll do is in the next video, we are then going to basically tackle what will become the PlayStation wall. So the existing bookcase is going to get shifted along. The bookcase from the corner is then going to go in, and then, as I say, I've got another bookcase that we're going to bring in, put on the end here, and then yeah, we'll get it all filled up with all of the PlayStation games. So with that said, if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit that like button, and if you're not already, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell to be kept up to date when that next video goes live. And yeah, with that said, thank you so much for watching today. Really hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, bye.